Hey, my name is Dan, and I'm now continuing with the Kanbanized value stream chain video series in order to explain this how to practically use Kanban in and portfolio Kanban particularly in order to provide a value chain for the customers. And let's have a look at this. Here is a constraint because people are not able to buy enough ebooks and video courses online. We are going to fulfill that constraint by delivering a product which is making it easier online to sell, to buy digital content and video courses. And the way to do this is in order to move this into a backlog. There's the customer, because he cannot buy the particular ebook he wants to buy, and he wants to watch a particular how-to guide which he cannot find online. And we are going to make this customer happy by delivering the right product. Previously, you would split this. Oh wait, I'm going to show this. So we can provide the correct product at the right time to the customer in the market and fulfill the constraint and fulfill the demand with the correct supply. And previously we were thinking about functional terms, like how are we going to do this? First, we had like a web design team who was creating the WordPress pages and who was creating the blog. And then we had like a IT team which was just like making sure that the infrastructure works, that the servers are running, emails are getting delivered, that the PHP version is correct in order to run the products, in order to run the web shop. And we had a team, media buying team, which was only concerned about buying the right ads on Facebook, and we had an operations team. We had an operations department where people were like working on the numbers, crunching numbers, like how much can I pay for this, how much, what are the bank accounts working, and everything was separate. People were like feeling like everybody was only concerned about their own problems in this value stream change. So we had like a functional separation between everybody. Like, for example, if somebody from the web design team had a problem with the server, they spoke to the IT team and disrupted them. Or sometimes like people were getting annoyed because we had to use phone calls, Skype, Slack in order to communicate. Or we had like a media buying team which was running traffic on some landing page, but the IT team didn't really make sure that it was running on the right server. So there were like problems there, and people were like getting like disgusted and had how do I say, were getting disagreements with each other because there was like because these teams were not seeing like that we're not seeing that actually everything they are doing is only valid in order to provide a value for the customer, and they were rather focused on their functions. Like people like in operations were like concerned about making sure that the money is coming in and everything, and like we're like watching about the cost of what is going on in the business, but not actually seeing that maybe a smaller investment in something might provide a bigger value for the customer in the long term, extends the business tenfold. And everybody was like thinking in their own little thing and functionality. However, this functional value stream, so to say, is being broken up into value stream teams, which are there in order to provide a value for the customer. So this is the old way where we had a lot of conflicts, and the new way is actually in order a flow where we take someone from the web design team, someone from the IT team, someone from the media buying team, and one from the operations or sales teams. I should write sales as well, and put them all together into one team, which is, for example, concerned with the digital content offers. So this means that previously you were thinking about functions, now you are thinking about the value, and you're working together as with everyone else, and you're communicating together with everyone else. So for example, we're having a digital content team which is concerned about the digital content offers, and we are having an e-commerce team which is concerned about the offers which are using a regular web shop and where we're actually shipping out the products. While the digital content team is for example working on highly focused landing pages, and the e-commerce team is building real web shops, and they are and everyone in this team has like some person from this, everyone in this team has another person from this, and they are working long term together in order to create the value to the customer. So while you were previously the IT team was sitting together and the web design team and the operations team, now you shuffle it up and let these people communicate together faster in order to provide the value to the customer. And this changed the focus from a functional perspective to a value delivering perspective, which in the end will increase the throughput of the company, which is another keyword of this, which comes from I think Elliot Goldratt and the theory of constraints. And while previously one was rather concerned about the cost of an operation, of something that we are doing, now it is not so much the cost that is the deciding factor whether to do something or not, but the throughput of something. And the throughput is the rate at which we can deliver the product to the customer. And by splitting the functional teams up into value stream teams, we can increase the throughput of the company by making everyone aware that it is not the functional requirements or what they were doing before that's important, but actually the delivering the value and the correct product to the customer, which is important. And on the other hand, we will see that nothing actually makes sense unless we can deliver the product to the customer. And product is the right word, the right term for this, because the product makes it clear that you are actually creating something which a consumer can use in order to solve his constraint and in order to make the consumer happy. And on the other hand, even if you have the greatest processes in the media buying or in the IT team, even if we have the best web servers, it never makes any sense unless they help us increase the rate at which we can deliver the product to the consumer and make the consumer happier. And this is like a very, very important paradigm shift about how to go ahead with your work. And this is also making it very clear that you see value in whatever you do, because you're not only creating a CSS style sheet or you're creating an Excel file for something, but you know that whatever task you're doing actually is creating value for the consumer and helping alleviate his constraints.